premium, but can they set up an HRA and use some of that money in this scenario to pay for the small group? I don't see why not, but I don't know the scenario to be able to fully answer that question. So if you have one of those scenarios, you'd want to run that by the administrator to make sure that everything is in the right order. That's another good question for you there. If an employee does not use all the HRA or the ICHRA, which is an HRA in a given year, does the remaining amount roll over to the new year? Again, that's a question for the employer and how they're going to work that. Everybody might be a little different. Some employers may pull it all back and start over. Some may say, yeah, leave it in there. Or they may pull all back except $250 or $500, whatever that may be. I don't know. So
I would think it would be part of the HRA document. You know what I mean? Again,
yes.
You know. Okay.
Yep. Would be a part of the guidelines, but it's really up to the employer and how they want to do it. And if they want to pull back or pull back some, but that would be a part of that document for sure. For current employees, do they only get one open enrollment period to sign up, or can they sign up anytime throughout the year? Another great question for that. So with ICHRA, and when large groups look at moving from a fully insured, or let's say they're looking at an ICHRA for the first time, that is also considered a qualifying event. And people can actually go into this particular individual market or an ICHRA type situation anytime throughout the year. Now, keep in mind, if you enroll somebody on the 15th of May, more than likely that plan will start June 1st.
June 1st, yeah.
So it's still the individual rules and guidelines on these particular plans.
But technically, no waiting periods, really, right? Or could you load a waiting period? I guess with the HRA document, you might be able to.
If you had like a 90-day waiting period for a new employee,
yeah.
Well, you would wait until after 60 days into that third month and then get them enrolled.
Okay. Yeah, this is really good. Well, it all depends on what the commissions look like too, I guess, you know.
I can't seem to find the Unity function. You asked a question. I can't seem to find the Unity function. What does that mean?
Oh, me? That was the unmute. Unmute.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's a thing you had to unmute me or something like that. So
gotcha.
We don't have that.
The max contribution? Can employees both fund the HRA for payroll deduction? Yes. So the question is, can an employer and employees both fund the HRA or the HRA via payroll deduction for employees? Yes. Yes, they can. And that's actually common, if that helps.
And that's tax deductible out of their paycheck. I mean, it's tax-free money out of their paycheck, or pre-tax rather.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with that, but I'm not a tax guy and never want to act like it. So
okay.
I would agree, but I would advise a tax person. It just protects myself.
Right. Gotcha.
I don't want anybody to say, well, the Blue Cross guy said I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm an insurance guy. I'm not a tax guy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Let me just go back here to put some of these questions. But, when it comes to the commissions, Lynn, I find that really when you start doing the math and understanding what you would get per employee per month on a group plan, one, you want to make sure you come in equal, if not more than that. And so figuring out what that would be to you and understanding how and what the administrator is going to, how that's going to work for you.
So hopefully that's tweakable, basically.
I think it's all very tweakable. I think as an ICHRA administrator, let's say they're the agent of record, they retain full commissions, but then they give you a line item on the monthly fees that they charge the employer to administer it.
Mm-hmm.
there would be a line, there should be a line or a way for them to include some additional dollars for the agent.
Okay.
Or let's say their fee is, I'm just going to make it up, $20. You say, hey, jump this to $30. And that way you get $10 additional on top of whatever else. Or maybe you say, hey, just throw X amount of dollars per month for the broker. Again, these are questions that you would ask to make sure you understand their pricing model on how you get compensated.
Right. I guess a lot of the administrators out there are doing some webinars. So, now's the time for me to jump in and figure this all out and what works best.
Yeah, definitely figure it out. Learn how the process is on for each of them, or that you talk to. If you learn it and you figure it out and you feel like you can sell it, because it is a little different in terms of a group plan and how the group plans are set up. But if you can understand how the flow works to a place where you feel really comfortable, you can, as a good salesperson, I would say you are addressing all the concerns up front.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate Lynn, I really do appreciate the participation. This has definitely made it a lot better for me, and hopefully a little bit more educational for everybody else that's still here.
Yeah, I hope I'm not the only one on here.
No, there's a handful more. Is there? But I'll give it a second or two to see if there's any more questions that anybody wants to put in the chat, or